Hi everyone, and welcome back to OpenTTD with me, Tommy P. Last time round, I eventually managed to get our engineering supplies from our engineering supplies depot here in Fontberg over to Trenborne Wells to get some increased production at this oil well here. Since then, I've been very busy off camera doing a whole raft of various items. And to start with today, I'm just going to quickly run you through those bits and bobs. You'll recall that here in Hartbourne I had originally decided to just link this nitrate mine to the station here using the station spread. I decided that that was poor form and not befitting of a reputable company such as ours here at Fast Track Limited, so I have changed this so that there is now a proper lorry service taking the nitrates from the mine to the station. Around the nitrate mines to the south here, I've added a few eye candy items and connected new stations up to local towns to add a little bit of realism, as I did do with the oil refineries. I've also done that around peatlands up here in Fundhead, around the airport there. As far as the engineering supplies go, as mentioned, I had in the last episode connected this mine up. I've now sorted all of the engineering supplies to all of the oil wells on our cargo network, so that's every single one of these is now receiving engineering supplies. And I just wanted to very quickly talk you through how I've organised and worked out how many trains are needed. So I think this is quite a useful tip for those players who may not have used either the FIRS or the XIS set before and are not used to boosting production. So you'll see here, I've gone into the timetable and it says here that the timetable will take 295 days to complete. The wells themselves need 64 crates of supplies delivered every 3 months, which on average is about 90 days. So each engineering supplies locomotive is capable of carrying 80 crates, so well more than enough to cover the 64 crates needed. So all that you have to do is to take the 295 days that it takes for one vehicle to complete the timetable, and that's from the depot to here and back, and you divide that by 90 days, and in this particular instance that works out to be about 3.28 vehicles needed. The timetable can run a little late, as this particular one is doing, so you need to allow for a little bit of additional capacity in here, which is why in this example I've gone for 4 locomotives, and that is working very well. Here at Fontbridge we are at maximum capacity in the crankit production phase, which means that the production is quadrupled and is now well over 1 million litres of oil a month. So, quick little example of how all those engineering routes have been set up. One of the other things that I have done on the freight network is to upgrade the locomotives on both engineering supplies and explosives vehicles. And the reason for that is that I'm now able to use this mail carriage. Last time around I was using the siphon van. I'm going to very quickly go to the vehicles list here. I will just use explosives as an example. I'll search by maximum speed. So the mail carriage can take both engineering supplies and explosives and will do 100 miles an hour. And what I discovered as I was playing around with some of these carriages is that both the mail carriage and indeed the siphon van that we were using don't actually need a brake van. So the limitations of the brake van of being at only 65 miles an hour are gone, and as such I was able to upgrade explosives and engineering supplies locomotive to this EE 10,000 diesel, which runs at 90 miles an hour, which is great as it means that we're obviously delivering those types of cargo much more quickly. However, a little bit frustrating that there's actually nothing in the description here that tells you that it doesn't need a brake van, so that was a little bit of trial and error. Linked to this, I also wanted to just mention, again, perhaps more for players who've not played with this particular set before, about replacing vehicles. So obviously, as you've seen before, you are able to upgrade your locomotives through this replace vehicles option here in your group list, and there is a little tab here. This is currently showing engines, and if you click to wagons, that will then allow you to upgrade all the wagons. You have to be very careful when you're using a GRF set like I am, where, as an example, this compartment coach is a lot smaller than a mail carriage, and if you don't select wagon removal on, which basically keeps the length of the train the same, you will end up in a lot of problems, because with a compartment coach I might be able to have, say, 16 wagons to create a train length total of 8, but the mail carriage, because it's much bigger, needs a lot less, and if you don't have wagon removal on, it will create 16 replacements with this carriage, which then can create all sorts of problems with your station lengths. Again, just another little tip there for using this, or indeed any other rail set that has different size wagons. Balancing, of course, has been a big focus, and we have a very quick update on our passenger bus services. So all of our buses now, I'll just go into here, so the region AEC, which was our sort of high capacity bus service that we were using, have now replaced with this AEC Route Master. Same speed, 40 miles an hour, capacity is 92, which is around about 38 passengers more, so that's been a very useful upgrade there. and they're all the Renault, Fiat and Leyburn buses that we were using. I have now updated to this Mercedes-Benz, which is a little bit faster than all of those, and again it's got a better capacity. A lot of the bus stations, and I'll only show you one, but a lot of the bus stations within these larger cities were just single stops, like this one here at Penwell South. I've had to vastly upgrade a lot of these just due to the additional number of buses that are running around these cities, so you'll likely see a number of those quite larger bus stations in operation now. And then in Wunton, I have added an outer ring service, as this city had grown to such a point where it warranted having that outer ring service. Quickly go back to the main area where our passenger services are, which obviously was our starting area. You will see here some of these towns and cities have now grown to huge spaces, and considering that we are only in 1960 and this is probably going to be quite a long save, I have now changed one of the settings in here relating to town growth, and that town growth speed is now extremely slow, just to ensure that these don't get too out of hand in terms of size. The focus of today's episode is back here on our cargo network. I've also done quite a lot of balancing down in this area, and we are now at a point where in certain sections, notably this area here around New Flowerwood, there is just a massive amount of vehicles running on the network, and there are a lot of trains waiting. That's also not been helped by the fact that we now have some vehicles running at 50 miles an hour, some running at 55, and some running at 90 on this part of the network, so those faster trains are getting held up by slower ones in front of them. So the time has come to upgrade this part of the network, because the other thing that I will also need to do, now that the vast majority of our oil wells are in this crank-it production phase, is actually to put even more trains onto the network to take advantage of that increased production. Look here, see straight away, there's just loads of hold-ups. So that's the focus of today's video, so without further ado, we shall get cracking with that. And I'm going to start down here in Padstow. And initially I'm going to upgrade to 4-track. However, eventually I imagine this will probably need to become rather 6-track. Just a little tip here: if you're expanding your network, don't connect it to the existing network until all your signals are in place. The reason for that is that if I was to connect this here without any signals, very likely the train will go onto this part of the network, and later down the line will hold trains up as it reserves a path, say, to the next path signal, which again can cause some major delays. So I'm hoping this won't take too long to do. benefit of doing this should be pretty significant. Once we've got the main track in place, I will need to put in some passing points. Again, when we get here to junctions, I'm just going to not connect those up for now and wait until such a point that everything's ready in terms of signalling. Just very quickly while I'm here, once this train goes fast, I'm going to upgrade these bridges, as currently these are suspension bridges which only allow a top speed of 70 miles an hour. So we want to take advantage. In fact, I'm just going to stop these two. To allow that upgrade to take place. But yeah, we're now getting to the point in the game where we're getting much faster vehicles, so we really want to take advantage of that as much as we can. Get these back running again and continue the upgrade. I'm hoping that at the end of this upgrade, let me show you here. So we're currently making around about just under £2 million profit a year. I'm really hopeful this is going to add at least another $1 million a year on the additional capacity that we'll be able to put onto the network. What we'll do here is we'll take the upgrade, I think, to 2-track down to this part of the network. In fact, I might even run it a little bit further on. This is certainly where the bulk the traffic starts. Yeah, for now I'll just take it to there and then we'll run it all the way back up. As I mentioned on previous episodes, you'll see here they've already got the space to allow me to do this. And that's my point around as much forward planning as you can possibly do. Always good. Another couple of bridges here. Just need an upgrade. Just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's watched the series so far. At the time of recording this, the first 13 episodes have received nearly 500 views in total, and I'm just massively blown away by that. Your kind comments and likes, and some new subscribers even to the channel has been really warmly received by me, and as I mentioned, it's my first ever time posting YouTube content, so really blown away by that. So thanks again, guys, for your support. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. We've still a long way to go. But we will get there. Now, just to add the signals in. Maybe to move that one back to there. And I'll just do these as I go along. Try and keep these as uniform as I can. Keep it looking nice and pretty. We have time on today's episodes as well, guys, so we'll potentially look at upgrading this part of the network as well, but this will be the main focus here. It's gotta be right. Okay, looks all good to that. This signal here will need to move. And there we are. Right, now we do this side. Now that might change, but so we'll go along there. Yeah, actually, I noticed this. Do need to get some signals onto those bridges. This signal will need to move back. I am still planning on putting in some priority merge signals here as well. Again, that probably won't be today, but I'll put that into a future episode just to show you guys how that works. That will need a signal there. And there. Back along there and to there. Okay, so now I'm in a position to connect these up. Just need to do a little bit of signaling work as we go along, and we'll do this part of the network first. And hopefully before long all of these blockages that we're seeing here will start to go. Just checking along here. Connect that up there. Into a pod signal for now. And then once I'm done with this bit here, I will add in some switches. Already I have vehicles running on the new line, which is great to see. For now, I'll just make that into a pass signal. These will probably change. I'm probably not planning on having a switch right at a junction. Generally, I have those before and after. And that's just unbelievable again. That really shouldn't have happened. There was clearly signals there, that should have stopped. Yet another train crash. Fortunately, we already have a new Flowerwood disaster memorial, so there won't be any need to put another one up. We'll just etch some new names onto the existing one. Well, that is frustrating. Oh dear. Well, by the time we clear that, we should be all done here. And that was me hoping for no more train crashes. 2 in the last 3 episodes. Not good. Just forget that ever happened. Okay, so right, put some switches in here. What we do is to put them in every so often. As I say, I don't really want these switches right at a junction, because that will impact on our ability to do merges, or the priority merges rather. Starting to clear, excellent. Fortunately, we have over 30 million in the bank now, more than enough to deal with any lawsuit inevitably coming our way. More switches in here. More in here. More down here, and then we are nearly done. With this part of the network. think that will do us for here, and then we'll probably just look to mirror these switch locations. I don't like it when the signals aren't balanced. To do this hopefully a little bit quicker than last time. Yeah, definitely vehicles using both sides, which is great. Yep, see a train switching there because this line's blocked. See, it's catching this one up. That's the advantage of the switch. Should start to see that happening quite a bit. So, one there. And yet again, how has that happened? This is just turning into an absolute disaster. Oh my word. And a UFO. Also deciding to crash land and destroy one of our buses. Yeah, I think what's happened here is really I should have put the signals in first. There. Whilst the vehicles were coming. Oh well. You live and you learn. Well, some of us do. Which will have to be another memorial put up there. Take care of that off camera. Slowly becoming our most used object. Definitely some lessons learned again. And that's the great thing about this game. You learn as you go on. Right, almost here now. A couple more switches to put in. hopefully that other train crash even will have cleared. Let's have a look. Indeed it has. And with 2 more train crashes, we do finally have our upgrade completed. Yeah, I think that does need, yeah, it definitely needs to be continued. I'll just very quickly get this done here, guys. Definitely needs to go a little bit further along, otherwise we are going to see delays there. Yeah, I think we'll take it to there. Review. My fingers will work. We'll keep switch here. That should, oh, let's get you connected there. That's indeed changed. Path signals. That should solve our problems. One of you there, one of you there, one of you there. I think we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for joining me today. This is Tommy P, signing off.